Scribble Jam, Rap Olympics, 97, Freaknik, how can I be down me in Bazaar in Florida?
Okay, so hopefully that isn't enough to get me copy striked, and I'm sure it is. But Eminem came out with his new album yesterday, Kamikaze, one of the long-awaited kind of midnight drops. Didn't really give anyone heads up on the fact that he was releasing this album, but one of the exciting things that I thought came out of the whole ordeal was in one of the songs, I guess this is his 10th studio album that was released last night, the track called Not Alike, Royce to 5'9" shouts out a quote. This is, "Remember everybody used to bite nickel, now everybody doing Bitcoin." Now the fact that Bitcoin was mentioned on a famous, well, Eminem, one of the, as my personal opinion, one of the best lyricists on the planet, mentioning this change from metal to cryptocurrency, I think is a very notable response. And the fact that it's being described, and I guess notably, you know, these are millions of people that listen to these albums and will continue to listen to these songs over the next year, they're going to be hearing that term Bitcoin. And that's a lot of what this is these catchwords, these key launch phrases into people's mindsets are really going to be one of the things that I think drive not mass adoption, but at least mass awareness. The more that you know, the better. I mean, even Family Guy had mentioned in one of their earlier episodes in 2012 when Lois said she didn't know how to continue to save money with the US dollar, Peter says Bitcoin, in which she said, nothing is what he responds to that after that. But we've known in the mainstream media that this is one of the most viable forms of currency and money that we've seen in a long time. And for those of you that are interested in understanding why that's the case, there are many great videos explaining the lack of value in fiat and how fiat currencies are really nothing but a faith and confidence. You could say the same thing about Bitcoin, but there are underlying prefaces in the technology to why we would A, trust it, and B, value it. And that's extremely important. So now that these, you know, one of the world's best rappers is coming out in their song Not Alike mentioning Bitcoin, you also had Akon come out earlier in the year who was doing his Akon coin for his crypto city. You also had Curtis Jackson, better known as 50 Cent, who actually had been reported owing millions of dollars to the IRS, also happened to say he owned millions of dollars of Bitcoin. He then stated to be the first rapper to accept Bitcoin. You also saw Mariah Carey actually accept Monero and G-Eazy. So a lot of these rappers are coming out accepting this digital asset because they feel that the value will continue to increase. Anyways, I think that's super exciting. If you haven't checked it out and you're a fan of hip-hop or rapping, and as far as I'm concerned, one of the best lyricists on the planet, check out Eminem's new album. You can download it on Google Play, iTunes, and all the rest. But let's go back for... this is just going to be a short update. It's a great album too, for anyone that's wondering. I really enjoyed it. They also have one of the Canadian artists, Jesse Reyes, featuring on the last of the two tracks on that album as well. So super excited to see some Canadian talent on the board with Eminem, and very excited to hear one of his new albums, as it had been a long time since he come out with content. And he's, in my opinion, like I said, one of the best. Remember, if you like this content, give us those thumbs up. If you're new to the Bear family, remember to hit that bell and subscribe. Leave your comments and your thoughts below. What do you think about Eminem releasing his new album and his thoughts dropping about everyone's doing Bitcoin now? I agree. I think it's the sentiments and a movement in the right direction. I'm going to be jumping on a little later this afternoon to go over some charts because we may actually be entering the bull market. Now, I'm not completely convinced yet, as I do suspect we'll hit 7,700 before returning. But if we don't, if we break through that downward bearish trend line, that could be a big move and very quickly. So we'll be keeping our eyes on the charts with everyone. This is Tio and the Arcane Bear. Very grateful for you guys. And again, hopefully we don't get copy striked for the first little bit of the Eminem song there.